Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader and in this video we are taking a look at Meta. Going in this week we have its earnings, so I'll take you over the price action and the options data most importantly to see where the traders are betting their money. But overall I want to talk about definitely the price action as I said, and what if price gaps up or gaps down, how to react to it, and even if it gaps down, will it decimate Meta or are we just gonna come out back fine up again? So let's take a look at all those possibilities, and with that let's jump right into it. Once I also let you know, none of this is any financial advice, it's only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So Meta, well, if you're a member, you are already up to speed with all the price action that I talk to you guys daily about it. And as for right now where we are full on bullish in the price action, right? So structure is bullish and Meta overall structure is just bullish. We just did a clean breakout with a good volume, more than the average volume, and that's a breakout to the all-time highs. Meta is full on bullish going into the earnings. There is no point in looking any bearish plays on Meta. This even intraday or swing, even though we are bullish already on the swing and intraday, this zone of 632 to 638 is just a new support ongoing. I'll get to the earnings scenario in just a minute or in a couple of minutes, but first I want to just go over the price action. On hourly interval, we are just bullish pretty much. This 638 is just a support level. Any pullback until then is just fine. If any pullback happens, it's just bullish. So all in all, it's a very simple price action on Meta. Now I want to talk about the scenarios as if it gaps up or gaps down, what to look for, all right? So let's take, well, for that first, let me show you the options data first. So I have taken quite a wide range, but because Meta is a gapper. So we do have prices at $647, so just around the corner right over here. There's a lot of calls going in the earnings, even at the lower levels. There's not much puts. There's definitely some spike at 600, but that's compared to where the calls are sitting, it's little to nothing. And then we do have a spike at $700 on the call side. So let me mark that up here. $700 is definitely a focus, because if Meta can do it this week, that's the cheapest calls you would get, and technically it's in that direction. But again, better way would be if you do the straddle as well, if you are doing the option. So first now, so as I just showed you, there's definitely more interest on the calls side for sure, and price action is supporting calls, all right? And 700 is where the spike is for the calls. Now I want to first also go over the scenarios. How much is the possibility of gap up or gap down? So in the last earnings, we didn't see much of a gap up or gap down. There was still some move, but not necessarily a huge move. So let's bring out our scale here. And if I measure it, so there was little to nothing, right? I mean, yes, it did go down the next day, but there was little to nothing. Prior to that, we did have some showdown on this thing. And so let's just, so this is where we have, well, no, sorry, yeah, this is where we have, and we gapped up to 10% almost, all right? And then prior to that, so I'm just going to take last, whatever, the ones that I get, few of those, and we'll do an average there. So, and then we had a gap down, and that was like 14%, almost to 10 to 14%, and this was another one, right? So this is 16%. So on average, let's say it's between 10 to 15%. So where the price is, so the earnings, when is the earnings, right? Earnings are on Wednesday, I guess. Wow, Wednesday is a big day, guys. Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, all earnings are on Wednesday. So as we are already bullish, I do expect Meta to either stay up here or even continue higher, even until earnings. So, but let's take an example from where we are. How much is the 15% on Meta? Well, we are already, wow. So, wow, wait, let me actually bring that in the frame, because, yeah. So let's say we'll take a high case as 15% here. So 15% would be around 744. So let's say 740, give or take. Where is 700? 700 is 8%. So even if we take a mid average case at 12%, 725 is still within reach. Again, not saying it's going to happen, but based off of most of the past data, that's majority of the time is what has happened. We have had one earnings where nothing has happened as well. No gap up, no gap down. This the last one. So no guarantees, but since the price action is bullish, 700 where the most of the traders are betting their money, 700 I do think is possible after earnings as well or through the earnings. But again, we need to stay bullish. We need to gap up for that. And price action is bullish. Now for the downside. Now, even though I don't consider that any put will really make any difference on Meta, you can still choose a straddle as I just showed you, 10 to 12%. So is an average range. So again, nothing is guaranteed. All right. But if you're looking for that, look for the cheapest options on both calls and the put side at the range of 8% on either side. And then you can cancel out because, and the one that makes you the money, either call or put, will take out the losses from the other side. So there's a straddle you can do on this one. And so on the put side, though, even though I don't expect puts to make money, but if you're straddling and just, not wanting to risk anything and, not wanting to risk in a way that you don't want to really put your bias on either side, then any put, look for like 8% around below from where it is. And that will be anything below $600 is what you can look at. Now, my opinion though, as for in the terms of if we gap down, like if we gap up, that's great. We are bullish and we are just fine. But what if we gap down? So if we gap down, but we stay above $600, there is nothing to worry about eventually as well. Because price action overall gap down will not affect it that much if we stay above $600 area. And closer to the the earnings, I'll talk about, especially with the members, that what the price action is like. If you want access to my tools and also other stuff that happens, links to the things are in the description of this video. Now, if we lose $600 after earnings, if we gap down, that will bring us, that opens up the door to at least 550 area. All right. Yes, that will in the near term can bring us weakness, but then that eventually I do see a support to turn Meta around. So Meta has a lot of support sitting underneath on the overall good direction basis. Yes, even if we lose 600, it may look very appetizing that, oh, it's just gonna break apart now. No. Yes, it can open up the doors to 550, but nothing more than that. That's still, I consider, a really good support, and Meta, that will just be a little bit of a dent, nothing more than that. But anyhow, I would say the downside possibility is maybe 10% or 10 to 20% as where the price action is, and more is what I expect Meta is to do a strong stuff through the earnings. 80% I'm bullish on Meta. We need, well, as if price action will evolve, we'll keep seeing until Wednesday, but so far where the price action is, things are just fine on Meta. 635 and above, we are just bullish and price action is really strong. I'm not seeing any weakness on this thing, and as I just showed you the structure and everything, we are just bullish on my tools as well. Again, use these levels, significant levels marked by my tools to make decisions, and yeah, no, we are just fine, guys. All right. Anyways, that's all, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.